Normally, what I like to do is just kind of find out a little bit about where people are from, where they grew up. So, like, where are you from originally, Alex?
Oh yeah, sure. So like I was born in Russia and I was living there like for like for majority of my okay. So I was born in Russia and then like I lived there and then because my father he used to work as an engineer, so like he started to go out of the country. So first he moved to Korea, then like he moved to China, and then like after he started to work here in Taiwan, and then like, at that time like it was kind of like when I was studying in the school in the high school, so I had to kind of like decide what I want to do like after like when I finished the school. So like when I was like maybe like 15 years old or 14 years old, I came here to Taiwan for the first time like to visit my dad, and then like it was kind of like my first ever like Asian country to travel, and yeah, like from there, like I was like, okay, like I think I want to study here, like for my university. And then when I finished the school, the high school, like it was like when I was like 17 years old, and like I moved here. So like I had to start to learn English and everything, because before for me, like I had like kind of like two paths. Like if I stay in Russia, like I would study IT. So like I passed all of the exams and everything, and I was kind of ready to study there, like in the university. Or like I could choose to come to Taiwan and study business here, like in English. So it was kind of two completely different paths. But I was interested in both because I also used to do some sort of small businesses when I was like a teenager. Like I would buy like scooters, like if it's broken, then like I will repair it, like repaint it, and then like sell it for a higher price. I also did some sort of like online businesses where so like I kind of like was interested in the marketing and the business, but on the other side, like IT was kind of like a path like if you want to get a good salary. So like I also was thinking about it, but then like yeah, like I came to Taiwan like to study in the university.
Interesting. Okay. So, like, is there a reason that you couldn't have studied IT in Taiwan if you wanted?
I mean, like at the time, like it was like 11 years ago. So, like in Taiwan, like if you want to study in English, then like it was like only like two or three universities that you could choose from. Right now, like it's like
Oh.
almost every school they also have like the English program, so you can literally choose almost anything. For example, my brother-in-law he studies in English, the IT, but for
Mm.
me, like at the time, like it was like only like business, also hospitality. Like if you want to work in the in the hotel. So yeah, like it was like only that I could choose from business, hospitality, and I think it's something else. But it was like literally like three different majors that I could choose from. So like for me, like business was something that I'm most interested in, and yeah, that's what I chose.
So, up until that point, when you said you were 17 when you first moved to go to
Yeah,
school? So, up until
yeah.
that point, you just lived in Russia your whole life.
Right. I mean, I like so. My mom is from Ukraine. I'm from Russia. So like my grandparents they live in Ukraine. So like I would go there to visit them like every summer, and that's kind of like the only country I've been to. And also like the place where I used to live in Russia. It's like literally on the border with Ukraine. So like for me like I would go there, but like besides that like I haven't been to any other countries. So like Taiwan was kind of like the first Asian country and kind of like the third country I've been in. So yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. Like, culturally speaking, Russia and Ukraine have a lot of similarities, right? Especially if you're on the border, I would imagine.
Yeah. Like
Yeah. But then going to Taiwan all of a sudden, I mean, that's very different.
yeah, I mean like the first thing was like super different is that people smile here like because for example like in Russia like if I check my photos where I took like when I was like a kid in Russia like I never smile on the photos like literally you cannot smile on the photo, but here like when you come like you see like people are smiling and like people are kind of friendly. Like I must say, like in Russian people are not friendly, but they kind of like they don't show emotions that much. But like in Taiwan, like it's kind of like you can just like smile to everyone, just say hi, and it won't be weird. So like it was kind of like the first cultural shock that like people are kind of like can be nice without any reason, and it's totally fine. Also like there's like so many scooters because like I was riding a scooter like since like 14 years old. So when I came here, like was like just a small parking lot was like amount of scooters was like same as in whole city that I used to live in. So like amount of scooters was like insane. It's like everywhere the scooters are, and it is convenient to ride the scooters, but just like I couldn't think that it can be that many scooters. And also like before, like as I said, like I used to repair scooters and sell them for the higher price. So all the spare parts actually were coming from Taiwan. So like for me, like before, like I knew Taiwan is a place where they make those spare parts for the scooters, and yeah, like that's how I knew about Taiwan. Like the first time, like even before my dad came here, and yeah, like it was kind of like many scooters. Like the weather is kind of very hot. Uh, also, uh, also like there's no trash cans. Like I was really surprised because like in Russia, like you have like trash cans like every 50 meters, but still there's a lot of trash on the streets. But here they have like no trash cans almost anywhere, but still the streets are super clean, and it actually makes you like because for example when I was in Russia, like I also used to kind of throw the trash like randomly, like maybe I finish something that I throw the trash on the street, and it's really bad habit, but like it's kind of like you see everyone does it, so you kind of do it. And here because it's so clean. So like when you like even there's no trash cans, like you won't kind of like randomly throw the trash. You will kind of just keep it somewhere, and then like where you find the trash can, then you're gonna throw it. Like usually they have it like in 7-Eleven, Family Mart, or like maybe MRT stations, or like bus stations sometimes. Yeah, but like on the streets, like it's kind of hard to find.
And yeah, you don't want to be the only one doing it. There's like some societal pressure that says don't throw
Yeah.
trash on the ground. You don't want to be the only one. Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah, I mean, like, because like it's still like as a human, kind of have this sort of you follow what everyone does. So like when it's something bad, you kind of like you won't think it's bad, like when everyone does it, but like when no one does it, you will think, oh wait, it is actually bad. So like, you you will avoid it.
So how long was your dad in Taiwan before you moved there?
It was like for 3 years. So like yeah. So when I came here, like I think like yes, since I was 14 years old, he came here, and then like when I moved here, actually when I moved here, it was like my dad and my mom they all live here, and me and my sister we live in Russia. And then like when I came here, then my mom she would go back to Russia to stay with my sister, and then I would stay with my father. And then like after a few years, and my dad would go back to Russia, and then after another few years, my sister came to Taiwan to study here, and after another few years, my parents also came here. So now like we are like all family living here in Taiwan.
Wow. Okay, the whole family basically at one point or another, back and forth.
Yeah, before it was like that we never lived together because sometimes my dad is in Korea, then like I'm like in Russia, or like so it was kind of like for a long time it was like that we always separated. But like for now, like for like 2-3 years, like we kind of like all live together finally.
That's nice. You're all finally in the same place.
Yeah.
But so far away from where you're from as well, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know, like for me, like because I stay here like since 17 years old, so like I kind of don't have like a homesick anymore. Also,
Mm.
like all of your friends that you had in school, like their life completely changed. So like they're like so you kind of like having like a new life here. So like it's not like affecting you that much that like kind of like yeah, I mean for me, like because I know like for many people they actually have like a homesick and everything, but for me yeah, it was fine, like as long as like all family lives together. So I think it's kind of like yeah, like it is kind of fine.
I mean, that is like the most important thing. I mean, a lot of times that's the biggest hurdle that people have to get over when immigrating to another country is just being really far away from their families, right? I mean, we're all connected to our home cultures and the food we grew up eating and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that you miss from home is usually your family, right? And
Yeah.
so if you can all move together even maybe not at the same time, like you guys were kind of staggered, right? Coming at different times. At least you're in the same place now. Then I feel like it would be easier to like fully embrace a new country as your new home country, right? Because you're not
Right,
thinking
right,
about
yeah.
your parents or your siblings that maybe you left behind. So that's pretty nice. So, but out of all of your family, have you been in Taiwan the longest?
Yeah, like for me, like now, like I'm in here like 11 years. So my dad used to be here for 5 years, and now for another 2, 3 years. And my sister, she's been here for like also like 5, 6 years. So yeah, like I'm kind of like the longest one.
You've been there like double your family essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah. So do you feel like you're the most integrated into Taiwanese society as well?
yeah, I would think so because I can speak the language, and I kind of had to go through all of the challenging parts because uh, like uh, like the only easy part for me was like when I came here. Uh, but after that, like I had to quickly adapt, like because um, like I had to find like part-time jobs to pay for tuition. I had to find like way to speak Chinese, the local language. I had to kind of like understand like the laws, like how to open the account at the bank, how to rent an apartment. Like those are kind of like little things that you might not think about, but like when you start to live in new country, like you have to kind of like find a way like to work on those things and figure them out. For example, like renting an apartment, like it might sound easy, and usually it is easy like if you want to rent a very expensive apartment. But like I mean, like when I'm in school, like I'm not gonna rent an expensive apartment. So like when you want to find a cheap apartment, you're competing with a lot of people, and for the landlord, like they like for them, like they much more likely to rent it out to the local person than like to rent it out to the foreigner. So like for you like to convince like a landlord like why they need to rent it out to you, like it is very hard. And usually like apartments here, like if it's a good apartment, like then like it's gonna be rent out like within like one day, like or 2 days. So like you see
Whoa.
like oh there's like a good apartment, so you call them, you like trying to make an appointment like right away, like whenever is the earliest time when the landlord can, and then like yeah you try to convince them. Or like another thing is like open a bank, like open an account in a bank. Like it is kind of uh, like a challenge sometimes because the local staff when they see you like it's a foreigner, like a procedure is a little bit different, I guess. So like for them, like the easiest thing they can say is just like, oh no, like we cannot open an account for you. Like even like they can, but because they just don't want to how to say, they don't want to deal with it. So like they say like, oh no,
Mm.
like so you have to kind of like also convince them like why you need an account here. Otherwise like they will just say no, and then like you won't open an account.
Mm. Well, and I would
Yeah.
imagine that all of those things, like figuring out how to pay tuition, getting a part-time job, opening a bank account, you were probably doing those things for the first time, right? Or
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
because at 17, you wouldn't have a lot of experience doing that stuff even in Russia.
Right, right, right. So
So that makes it even
it,
harder.
it was kind of a challenging part, but like I had some friends, like Taiwanese friends, for example, like they would go with me to the bank sometimes because I don't speak, like I couldn't speak Chinese at the time, and sometimes so, like it's just easier for the staff to speak in the local language to solve your issue. Like it would make it easier sometimes. So like yeah, you're kind of like trying to find different ways around and make things work. So yeah, like it was challenging, but like it's still kind of like because you need it, so you will try to figure it out how to do it, or like get a local driving license. Like you have to find like okay how like what is the process, like how to get it, like what are the rules here, how to do it. So it's kind of like a lot of different challenges, but you kind of like figuring them out. And it is really good like when you have like some other foreigners who you can ask for. For example, when I finished the university, you need to find a work here. But like in the school, they never teach you like how does it work for foreigners to find a job here. Like for them, like it's kind of like they want you to finish the school and go back to your country. But like if you want to stay here, like you need to figure out like what is the like process and everything. For example, for Taiwan, like if you graduate from the local university, it's actually much easier for you to get a job here in Taiwan but you have a kind of like a point system. A lot of different things going to be like a different points. For example, if you got a degree in Taiwan, it's like how many points. You can speak other languages, how many points, and like they kind of like add up, and you need to surpass certain amount of points to be able to be hired in Taiwan. But like in school, like you don't know about it. And the problem there is because you actually need to prepare some sort of certificates. For example, you need to pass the Chinese language certificate. You need to pass the English, like that you can speak English and get certificate and other stuff. And if you don't know about it, then like you will wait until the last moment. And when maybe you go on an interview and they hire you, and then you will start to work on those things. Those things take sometimes 3 months, 4 months to get all those different paperwork. So like it would be good if there was some like teachers telling us about this, but like they didn't. So like it's only like you can rely on some other foreigners who went through those things and who can teach you like that, okay, this is how it works and this is what you need to do.